everybody, it's Lily and welcome to another Writing with Lily. I thought that today we would start off with the word of the day before jumping into the video. So the word of the day, or the word of the video, I always call it the word of the day, but really it's the word of the week or the word of the video. I can't help it. So the word of the video for this week is duplicitous. And duplicitous, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, means marked by duplicity, which is just defining the word with the word, which doesn't help. I've always told not to do that, but there's a second definition, which I think helps clear things up a little bit, and that is deception in words or action. So yeah, I like the word. It was actually a Tim Gunn word. If anyone watches Project Runway, I think he has a great lexicon, and I think it's hilarious that everyone on that show has no idea what he's saying half the time. So anyway, on to the video. So this time on Writing with Lily, I am not really going to be talking about any tips or tricks about writing like I did last time. Not that that really counted as a tip or a trick. It was more just talking about the perils of being an undisciplined person like myself who procrastinates. Still a problem. Thought I'd let you know. But something exciting is happening next month, or at least I think it's exciting. And it's something that I've actually been looking forward to all of this month, and that is Camp Nanowrimo. If you don't know about NaNoWriMo, it's National Novel Writing Month, and typically that happens in November of every year. I participated for the first time last November, so in 2016, and I actually ended up winning. And in NaNoWriMo, winning is if you are able to write essentially 50,000 words in the month of November. So for me, having NaNoWriMo was great. I like the discipline of it, and I think I talked about this a little bit last time as well, but I liked this sort of feeling of accountability that I got with NaNoWriMo, obviously. So for those who might not know, when you sign up to do NaNoWriMo, you become a part of the NaNoWriMo website, and on that website you have sort of your author's profile where it talks about who you are, what your book's about, things like that, but it also shows your word count and how well you're keeping up with the word count daily totals. So with NaNoWriMo, although the goal is to write 50,000 words in the month, for most people, it breaks down to about 1,667 words a day. So for most people, like myself, I did try to keep up with that every day. So I enjoyed the feeling of being kept accountable to someone. It's not like I thought people were actively keeping up with how I was doing on my NaNoWriMo. I didn't really even tell anyone that I was doing it other than my mom, and she's not on there, so obviously she doesn't really care either way what I do. But it felt like other people were looking at my daily totals and seeing, oh wow, she's behind, or oh wow, she's right on target, and I liked that feeling of being kept accountable to someone. So that's the reason why I have decided to participate in Camp Nanowrimo this April. Camp Nanowrimo is a little different than NaNoWriMo itself. Like I said, it takes place in April as opposed to November. And Camp Nanowrimo is a little less rigid in its structure. For NaNoWriMo, everyone's goal is to write a 50,000 word novel, essentially, or 50,000 words. But for Camp NaNoWriMo, it's different because you can set your own goal. That could be a word count, it could be a line count, it could be, I'm pretty sure you can also have writing time per day, so if you wanted to write 30 minutes a day or whatever, I'm pretty sure you could do that. It's more you set your own pace for Camp NaNoWriMo, and I think a lot of people also use it as time to edit their nano novel. I won't be doing that, but I think it is something that a lot of people end up doing. So it's a lot more flexible in what your goals can be and what you want to make of it. So for me, I am still working on my own novel. It's not really a nano novel because I had started it before NaNoWriMo actually began. Like I said in my other video, you can go back and watch it if you want. It's actually, I have kind of blown up this short story that I had written for a creative writing class, and I'm trying to make it into a full-length novel. I am currently sitting between 78 and 79,000 words, which for a lot of people would be a full-length novel. However, because it is fantasy and there is so much world building I have to do, it's going to be a lot longer than that, at least for the first draft. So my goal for Camp NaNowrimo is, I think, going to be to write at least 40,000 words in April. I do think think, no promises, but I do think that I could finish my novel in about 40,000 words. At least I hope to. I mean, that's getting pretty long there at 120,000 words long, since I'm almost at 80,000 words now. So I don't want it to be too much longer. Of course, it's going to be as long as it's going to be. That's what editing is for, going about cutting out things that I don't need at the end and cutting down that word count if need be. But I do think that I'm going to aim for 40,000 words and have the novel be done. My overarching goal is to have my novel be finished by May 1st. A first draft, obviously, not like the whole thing. But I want to have my first draft of my novel finished by May 1st. And you may be wondering, why May 1st? Isn't that kind of an arbitrary date? Sort of, yeah, it is. But I chose May 1st for a couple of reasons. First, the first sort of draft of this project in its short story form came to be somewhere between April and May during my creative writing class. So that'll be about a year since starting this little project. Well, it's now kind of a humongous project. So that'll be about a year since starting. Which obviously, go at your own pace. You don't have to write something in a year. I know a lot of people take longer than that, and that's totally fine. It was just sort of a fun goal that I set for myself now. Not at the beginning. I had no intentions at the beginning of finishing this in a year. I had no idea how long it was going to take. But I also chose May 1st for another reason. As I've said in a couple, or at least one of my other videos, coming this fall, I will be entering grad school. I'm actually currently in the process of deciding on a program that I want to join. I'm kind of between two schools, so I might have an announcement about that when I finally decide where to go. But I'm super excited about it. However, grad school is a lot of work, as I'm sure a lot of you know. If you think undergrad's a lot, try grad school. It's going to be a 2-year program where they essentially just cram a ton of stuff in, and I'm sure with my master's project, I'm going to be super duper busy. And grad school itself is just a lot of work, and that's kind of what you sign up for. So I understand that it's going to be a lot of work, but that also means I'm going to have probably a lot less time on my hands to be writing. So because of that, I want to have my first draft done before any of that grad school stuff starts to come up. I also I'm getting anxious to have people start reading my work. So if I could get it done by May 1st, hopefully at least 1 or 2 people would have it read, within a month, maybe 2, and could give me at least a little bit of feedback. I don't want to just completely push this project off to the side. So I feel like if I can have a good first draft written and done by the time I go off to grad school, I think I'll be more likely to want to continue with this project and to actually see it through at least a couple more drafts. The main goal obviously is to try to get it published somewhere down the road, hopefully. But we'll see. At least if I have something finished, I'll be more inclined to go back to it and continue to work on it. So that's another reason why I decided to choose May 1st as a hopeful deadline for my first draft to be completed. So there's that. It's exciting. That means I have a month to get this done, but I do think it's possible. Part of the thing that kills me is that I know that if I sit down and write, I can write about 1,500 words in an hour and a half. So, this is totally doable, and it doesn't really even take me that long to write. 2,000 words would take about 2 hours probably. That's not that much time really in the scheme of things. And right now especially, I do have the time to put into that. So, harking back to the topic of our last video, it all comes down to disciplining myself to sit down and do it, which is where Camp Nanowrimo comes in. If I feel like someone is watching me, like I'm held accountable to someone other than just myself, I'm more likely to finish this project, or at least write every single day and try to hit my word count goals. So yeah, this was just kind of a brief update about what I'm doing with my writing. I'm really excited about getting this done. I think I'm finally starting to really see where this is going, and I'm excited for upcoming scenes. They're still a little bit far off, but I think now that, my character is sort of set up where she's going to be for now and established, and I've established sort of the main characters, the main cast anyway, we can really get going and get into some of the fun stuff, some of the conflict that's going to be coming up in my story. So I'm really excited to write that. So hopefully that'll keep me going, keep me writing. It's always good when you have something exciting to write about, I think. So yeah, let me know if you want in the comments below if you're participating in Camp Nanowrimo. If you see that shaking, it's my cat. She's rubbing on my light stand. I don't know if you can tell, but it's going like this. So sorry. She's actually thrown up on my light stand twice now, so obviously she has some kind of love-hate relationship with this thing. It's kind of disgusting. I wish you all of the discipline in the world. I hope you get where you want to go. Thanks for watching. Bye.